Man, it was brutal finding out that my channel got terminated for being 2 months too young. It wiped me out. I had quite the temper tantrum, not gonna lie. Well, I was told that I handled it pretty well, but I did kind of, what word do I use? Throw a temper tantrum in my room. So, it was a little bit brutal, no big deal though. I mean, I have my channel booted back up again, and now I even have this podcast that you're listening to right now. Of course, I haven't exactly experienced every franchise, so sometimes I'll have guests in my episodes to help me out. You know, someone who has experienced the franchises themselves, you know? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you do. That's kind of what my goal is here, you know? So no big deal. What's up, everybody? I'm Mr.L here with Minecraft. Today, let's gonna get down to business on today's latest video episode. The latest Nintendo games that have been released. Now, a lot of people have been really amped for them. Not gonna lie. I mean, I was amped for them a lot as well. Not gonna lie. I mean, one of my most favorites to come out besides Super Mario Bros. Wonder was Detective Pikachu. Yeah, Nintendo legally owns some of the rights to Pokemon, but the Pokemon anime series does not apply to this kind of term. Okay? Now, before we get down to business, I just want to, for my thing that absolutely no one is talking about, I'm going to add a little bit of dramatics after I say the title. It's drumroll please. I know I should really get a drumroll sound effect. Anyway, I think the thing we should be talking about as the thing that has absolutely nothing to do with the subject is the Super Mario Bros. Movie 2. How do you like my dramatics right there, yeah? Now, the reason I decided to choose the Super Mario Bros. Movie 2 is because I was just literally freaking out. I mean, I'm sure it's hooked people a lot ever since the bonus end credit scene with the Yoshi egg in the Brooklyn sewers. So I figured we'd kind of go over a bit of a pie chart like we did Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Although I'm not gonna get too deep into it, we're just gonna take like 5 characters from the series and stick them onto a billboard or something. Well, not billboard, more like a research board. Okay. That's kind of what we're going to be doing. So get your pie charts out, everybody. Today we have our pie. 3.14253748. I think. Okay, so now we have our good old friend. So let's take 1 pie chart and set it down on the table and then we split it in half so that there's 1/2, 1/2. Well, let's color in 1/2 kind of pale blue, like pale blue, not like sky blue, but like pale whitish blue, colored in kind of like that, like a. Man, I really wish I had a color machine to figure out what I'm doing. So kind of fill it in like that. Kind of fill it in with a white pale blue. And on the other half, fill it in with, and then on the other, and then while you're at it, just kind of draw an outside circle, like not exactly taking up the whole pie, but like an inside circle, like draw the outline of the first half that we just filled in with pale blue, and let's fill it and let with a with a oh with a sort of green, with a sort of light green coloring, and then let's draw the other half as well. And now time for the labeling. For the pale blue, I decided to go light pale blue for Rosalina. Let me write that down. Okay. And the reason I wanted you to draw an outside half to the Rosalina half is because we know that Yoshi's going to be in the movie. So let's fill in the green half, and then we'll label it Yoshi, because we absolutely know that Yoshi is going to be in the second Super Mario Brothers movie. I mean, like 100%. I mean, where would we be without Yoshi? Let's think back to Super Mario Brothers. Let's think back to Super Mario World. He was like one of the main parts, and although Mario did get off Yoshi's back to enter giant fortresses and ghost houses, I believe. I mean, I guess we can kind of understand that Yoshi has not only made his debut in the Mario series, but he's also made his debut in his own Nintendo series, which is kind of like a side area. Have you noticed that in Super Smash for Donkey Kong, Yoshi, and Diddy Kong, and King K. Rool, they don't exactly have the mushroom symbol like everyone else from the main Mario series. Instead, they have DK and the Yoshi egg. Well, I've noticed that, and it kind of just gets me paranoid. Makes me so annoyed, because Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, King K. Rool, Yoshi, those are all just as important characters in the Mario series as anyone else. Now, let me tell you a little detail here. The reason I mentioned King K. Rool, even though he's never really been seen outside of the Donkey Kong series, well, that isn't entirely true. Let's think back to the Wii here. In the Wii, there's a baseball Mario game called Mario Super Sluggers, and you're able to get Critters and King K. Rool as characters, so that's pretty cool. That's why I'm mentioning them here. I just wanted to kind of clear that up because it's really paranoid, and so yeah. Okay. So we have Rosalina taking up one half of the pie, Yoshi taking up the whole pie. Now let's grab our yellow marker or crayon or whatever you use, and let's draw a new pie, and let's break it up into thirds this time for the last remaining 3 characters. Now, with the first, you're going to take the yellow thingy you're drawing with and fill in one of them with that, representing Daisy. I mean, Daisy is like Peach's sister from another mister. Well, I'm not sure that they're actually sisters or cousins or maybe just plain friends, but there's a very good chance that we will find out. There's a very good chance that we will find out if Daisy will be in there. That's why we took this yellow something and kind of drew in the first third of the second pie. So we have Yoshi, Rosalina, and Daisy. Okay? Now let's also think about who else would be a good member to the crew? Oh, right, Bowser Jr., Bowser's genuine son and heir to the throne. Bowser Jr. Yes, Bowser Jr. is a... Now, does anyone or everyone remember Bowser Jr.'s debut as a character? Bowser Jr. made his debut in Super Mario Sunshine, framing Mario for crimes of polluting the island with some type of weird goop. Okay? At the end, Bowser Jr. Bowser Jr. and Bowser were defeated. Peach was rescued. Flood got destroyed, and Delfino Plaza was restored. So we have Daisy, we have Rosalina, Yoshi, and Bowser Jr. Now let's also take my good friend, and now let's also take we have 4 out of 5. Well, for a fifth, we're going to take. Come to think of it, I don't know who else. I mean, we have. Actually, let's use this pie space for 2 different areas. Let's use this last pie space and kind of split it in half with a kind of faded line instead, and let's fill up one with red and one with pink. And the red side, we're going to move on to Toad. Now we all know Toad from the Super Mario Brothers movie. Now at least. I don't know how many people. Hold on. I'm just going to look it up real quick. How much percent of the world thinks Toad is the future Captain Toad? Now, no, this is not what I'm looking for. Nah. Now, I was trying to look for a bit of a percentage here, but I could not find anything. But let's just say at least 90 out of 100% of the world thinks that the Toad in the Super Mario Brothers movie. I'm gonna say at least 90% of the world agrees with me here that he may be the future Captain Toad, and there's quite a few clues to hint it out. Oh, there's a whole lot of clues. For starters, when we first meet Toad, there's Captain Toad music playing in the background when they're walking through those mushroom fields, until Mario mentions a dark cloud full of lava and stuff and such. So that's the first hint. The second hint is the fact that Captain Toad has a pack full of adventuring gear and power-ups, I guess. I mean, he's got to have power-ups just in case. Maybe a pickaxe, at least. I mean, it makes sense. And he can cook. He's able to set up a camp really fast. He can play the flute. I don't know how that helps us. I'm just kind of naming off details. And he must be a pretty good scavenger for Peach to send that specific Toad to find a bouquet and hide an ice flower in it. He must be a very good treasure tracker to find a simple ice flower so fast. I'm impressed. Now let's take the other half of that third. Half a third. Fractions, am I right? Now let's take the other half of the third and we'll write Toadette. And for Toadette, and a lot of you know that Toadette is a standout female Toad with braids on her hat, representing that she is the standout Toad and trusted assistant of Captain Toad. Now the reason I split up a third of the reason I split up the third into a half is because Captain Toad and Toadette are trusted partners in their adventures. So there's a very good chance that we could see Toadette we never really do find out the true backstory behind Toadette. Although my theory is that Toadette is actually Peach's adoptive daughter. That's a very good theory, and maybe, it seems pretty good. Like she was born with a different personality from all the Toads in the orphanage or something, and Princess Peach selects Toadette because she's different, and she wants, and instead of and then there's some cheesy life lesson about being herself in the end and such. And Peach adopts Toadette into her family, and Captain Toad trusts Toadette as his friendly second in command chief for treasure tracking. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, right? So do you see why I kind of split down that pie? Yeah, I hoped you would. Anyway, moving on. That's kind of what I have here. We have 2 pies, and Yoshi takes up 100% of one pie. Rosalina takes up 50% of the same pie. Then we have a second pie divided into thirds. Although one of those thirds is half a third, which I guess is 2/6 or something. Anyway, we have Daisy, we have Bowser Jr. or the Kooplings, and we have Captain Toad and Toadette. Yeah. Now I'm gonna keep this topic going a little bit longer. Now, do you think that the beginning of the movie it'll be like some type of big ceremony, like Peach's coronation to become queen or something? And while she's at it, she calls up Mario, Luigi, Captain Toad, and Donkey Kong to get some kind of rank. And Toad gets Toad gets title of treasure tracker of the Mushroom Kingdom. That'd be pretty cool, right? Now let's kind of look. Now to anyone listening to this podcast, what Koopling do you think my voice would fit the best? I'm sure a lot of you have heard their sound effects. I'm sure a lot of you have heard their sound effects from when you're against them or you're using them. When I say against them, I mean like against them in like Wii 2D side-scroll battles in Super Mario Brothers Wii and such. But we also have Super Mario Brothers U and U Deluxe. Now I would always love to. I'd want to play one of the Kooplings, and Ludwig in particular. I would want to play the most, and I'm sure you can guess why. I'm Mr.L. Ludwig. Now I know that Ludwig's whole thing is like this, or something like that. So like he notices that the Mario Brothers are on the ship, then he giggles a little bit, and then he once again realizes that they're there on the ship or something. Yeah, I'll do it. Like, oh. And Iggy's kind of the weirdo screamer. Then there's, along with his twin, Lemmy, who would gladly be in the circus instead of working for his king dad. Wendy is a girl, so it's a no-brainer that I can't be Cutie Pie. Although it is known that a girl did play Tails in Sonic the Hedgehog 2. No offense. No, okay? Absolutely no offense. No offense, no offense with him. Yeah. So there is a very good chance that, yeah, Great, now I completely lost what I was talking. Oh right, so we went over Ludwig, Lemmy, Iggy, and Wendy. Now I'm gonna say a little fun fact here while I'm here. On Prime Video you're able to watch the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. And you're able to watch a Super Mario Brothers 3 series and a Super Mario World series, both featuring the Koopalings. Except the Koopalings' names are this. Except the Koopalings' names and ages are different. So, Iggy's the middle. So, I'm going to go in age order from the present. Oldest to youngest. For starters, we have Ludwig von Koopaling. Well, in the show, it's Kooky von Koopaling. And apparently he's the middle kid and the smart inventor. And then is Morton, I believe. Morton or Roy. Well, Morton was known as Big Mouth Koopaling. I mean, I can understand why. And Roy was known as Bully Koopaling, as the oldest back then. And Larry was Cheency, I think, and was the middle kid or something, and was like third to middle kid. Cutie Pie was Wendy. I don't know who Wendy is now. And then there's Iggy and Lemmy, or Hip and Hop as they were known back then. They did things as a duo because they were twins. Hip and Hop, Iggy and Lemmy, and they're kind of best friends now. Yeah, best friends, twins, Koopalings. So I'm going to play some Super Mario 64 music, and we'll jump right into Nintendo's latest and what's next for Nintendo right after the music ends. Okay, love you, bye. Sorry, I forgot to mention I'm sorry that the music didn't play just yet. It's just I would like to mention what kind of power-ups there would be now before we jump right in. Okay? So what kind of power-ups do you think that there would be? Now let's kind of go out through history. Let's take a look at what we have in Super Mario Brothers movie right now. For starters, we have the mushroom, the fire and ice flower, and the cat bell and tanuki leaf. So let's think. Let's brainstorm. What if we had the propeller mushroom from Super Mario Bros. Wii, along with the penguin suit from Super Mario Bros. Wii? Those would be some good options to look at. And what about the frog suit? Okay, yeah, that was pretty stupid as soon as I thought about it. I mean, it's classified that I believe that Mario is able to breathe underwater to a certain extent. Like I've noticed that they're able to breathe underwater better when they have the frog suit or something like that. Although in the Super Mario Brothers movie, seems that's pretty obvious that they can't breathe. So, in Super Mario Brothers 3, the frog suit allows you to swim around freely instead of needing to press the jump button to stay in mid-air, I guess I should say, even though it's underwater. In this one, you're able to swim around freely. So do you think that the frog suit would allow in the movie would allow you to breathe underwater as well as betterly swim? It makes sense, right? What else? Penguin suit. Like, what if there was like some kind of a conference at the Penguin Kingdom and Peach and Mario wanted to look the part, or something like that. Or they just got cold and the Penguin King offered them something to get warm in. Maybe something like that. I don't know. Okay, saying that out loud just kind of tickles me fancy. Hold on. Sorry if there was a weird, awkward silence, everyone. I just kind of hooked up microphones, so I hope that things are kind of
I hope my voice is sounding a little bit better. So yeah, we have the frog suit and the penguin suit. What about the propeller mushroom? I mean, they can already fly with the tanuki, so it's kind of a no-brainer to not add it, you know? So I can understand if we don't see that. But what about and I lost it. Oh yeah, what if we were to see what if we were to see the elephant fruit? The elephant fruit. I mean, the type of fruit for the elephant isn't exactly classified in Super Mario Brothers Wonder. It's just called elephant fruit. So there's a good chance that we could see that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's this mic's definitely on. Yeah. What else? I'm Oh, there's a good chance that we could see the boomerang flower or the hammer flower from from 3D World slash 3D Land and from 3D World and 3D Land and we could see the hammer flower or just hammer I think from Super Mario Brothers from newer Super Mario Brothers. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. So there's a good chance that we could see those. That's a very good chance. Yeah. Excuse me. Mm. And yeah, there's a good chance that we could see the hammer and boomerang flower power-ups in there, and they could kind of be confused for why they have shells or something. I don't know. Uh, what about new power-ups? What about original power-ups? I mean, let's think. Let's kind of brainstorm here. I I know. What if there was like a power up for to turn you into a dry bones? That would be cool. Like you could like throw bones from nowhere, like fire and ice and hammers and boomerangs and stuff. What if you could like throw bones out of nowhere, and you'd be able to swim in lava for a brief. Uh, uh, you'd be able to swim in lava. That'd be pretty cool, right? And you'd be able to talk with other dry bones because you could understand them. And yeah, that'd be cool. So that's certainly an option, right? What other power-ups could we have in there? What other power-ups could we have in there? Well, looking back at the series, I guess that we could I guess that we could see the I guess that we could see the Mel cap or the Vanish cap or even the Flight cap. Mm, Uh, yeah, right. I mean, maybe not. Yeah. Um, so there's a very good chance that we could see that. Hope I hope you kind of marinate on it yourself. Uh, yeah. Uh, oh, and what if there's like this one-up power? What if there's like this? Yeah. What if there's one-ups? What if they like discover this new form of mushroom, and at the end Mario is fighting Bowser, and they both die, and they're both near, and they both nearly die, but earlier they both each had a one-up mushroom, so they're brought back to life, and Bowser does something right for once, and they stop whatever catastrophe Bowser started or something else, and that's a good thing to think about, right? And finally, the one I loathe the most, the turtle shell. appears in two It appears in two different games and once trademarks and all rights reserved to Nintendo. The 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 shell in Super Mario Bros. The shell in Super Mario Brothers. the shell in New Super Mario Bros. For the 3D, not 3DS, but just DS. That one was a good ability where you needed to dash, roll into your shell, and then you'd start riding around. I guess they'll make it look better in the movie. Ooh, what if we're also to see a honey hive kingdom and then there's the bee mushroom, or maybe there's like a haunted mansion and there's the boo mushroom, boo power up. What else? Ooh, here's my notebook on fan stuff. Ooh, here's a good fan made one. The Kong banana. What if there's like a special banana that turns non-Kong beings into Kongs, like a magical banana that powers up Kongs who eat them and turns those who aren't Kongs into Kongs. I mean, that would certainly make a tough fight against Bowser or one another, right? That would certainly be something now that I think about it. Heck, what if it was DK versus Mario and they were both Kongs? Now try getting that out of your head. Pink elephant. Whew. Now I have a pink elephant in my mind. Now, that's pretty much gonna do it for the thing that has mostly nothing to do with the episode. And I really am gonna play some music, and we will get right into Nintendo's latest game releases. Okay, yeah, the mic's back on. Okay, so let's get right into it. And by it, I mean this episode. And by this episode, I obviously mean Nintendo's game remakes and such. Now let's get down to business. For starters, we have my personal favorite, Super Mario RPG. Didn't you see? I bet you thought I was going to say Wonder. Well, I actually like this version of RPG more. I played the original version, and it took me so flippin' long to get through the first boss. The first boss, and then it took me forever to get through it didn't actually take me so long to get through the second boss, but it was still a little tricky. It was a little bit difficult. I had a hard time racking up XP. And I didn't even get Bowser. I didn't even get to that crazy guy that looks like Wario. I didn't even get to the tower with the crazy guy that looks like Wario. I did not, sadly. But then again, I did make some progress. I mean, I'm still working on finding those 3 flags from the village. I'm trying to figure out how to get the key to fight the secret boss in Monstro Town. But I am definitely working on it, and I'm definitely having fun while I do it. I actually decided to make Super Mario Bros. Wonder my second favorite because yeah, it is a good game. That's the truth. It is a good game, but it's also very short. It's very short, and it's also and some levels aren't really as challenging as other levels when I was an amateur, like a younger amateur. Like when I was 7, I would play Punch Out Wii, and I would get so flippin' stuck on Aaron Ryan and Bear Hugger and just tile defense Glass Joe. I mean, that's ridiculous. It's just flippin' ridiculous. So it definitely wasn't one of those levels that gave me the amateur moment of taking over and over and over and over and over. Except for the final test badge marathon. That took me a little while, but it didn't take me days to weeks to months to complete it. No. Mm-mm. Heck, on Punch Out Wii, it took me over 5 years to get past Tile Defensa Popinski. It's just ridiculous. It's so flippin' ridiculous. Until I figured out how to start what I call the soda rush, where where you just keep using star punches on Soda Popinski over and over and over again, and you know it's coming. You don't need to figure out the pattern of how Soda is going, and whether it's just hooks or uppercuts or side hooks, and all you need to do is just keep uppercutting, and eventually you just defeat him. Bald Bull wasn't that much trouble, and neither was Super Macho Man in their tile defense forms, but I still beat them. Ironically, the easiest one for me to beat is Mr. Sandman, not tile defense form. Yeah, it's crazy, but we're not talking about Punch Out Wii. Although I am a little disappointed not that we haven't seen a Punch Out game in that we haven't seen a Punch Out game since the Wii. So I'm hoping that they do a whole Punch Out remake for the Switch. That'd be cool, and it can kind of be like a similar version to. It can kind of be like a similar version to Punch Out Wii with a little upgraded graphics and upgraded graphics and what else? What else do you think that it should have Ooh, maybe it should include more characters for the tile defense form, and that'd be cool, right? I think that we can all agree that we can definitely have some upgrades to Punch Out if it ever gets re-released on Switch or Nintendo Switch 2, if there is to be coming out on Nintendo Switch 2, which I really hope there isn't. I mean, I liked the DS, but then they came out with a 3DS and there were a bunch of games. My favorite part about the 3DS is that it's able to play 3DS. The 3DS is able to play original DS versions of games. So I'm kind of hoping that Nintendo Switch 2 includes regular Switch games kind of too. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, we should get more Wii. We should get more Wii game remakes. We've had Super Mario Galaxy. We've had Kirby's Return to Dreamland. Just a minute. Even Nintendo Switch Sports. I mean, I liked Wii Sports a lot. I liked Wii Sports, Wii Party, and Wii Sports Resort. That's my personal fave. And they even came out with a Nintendo Switch Sports. That is pretty sick. But there should be some more game remakes from the early days. And I'm kind of talking DS and Wii and 3DS and Wii U and such what else? I mean, we did have a lot of good games. Ooh, and so did GameCube. Maybe they should, you know what? Nintendo should just, heck, Nintendo Game Freak should just release a video game that should just release a Pokemon game that doesn't feature one region with two versions. It features all the regions with one version. Like from my point of view, it seems like Zelda Tears of the Kingdom has been the biggest Nintendo Switch game with a bunch of gigabytes and megabytes and stuff just to fit in that one tiny cartridge. If that tiny cartridge can fit all that and the data that we rack into the Switch and the data that we rack in while we play, then there's no harm in making a Pokemon game that can feature that can feature there's no harm in making a Pokemon game that can feature more than one region. And you can you can do the you can even compete in the World Coronation Series while you're at it. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah. And there's like 12 gyms per region from my point of view from watching the series. There's like um well, actually, I've watched the second season of the Pokemon, like the second season ever, where they go to the Orange Islands. And while they're still in Kanto, Gary challenges the Viridian City Gym, and he has like 10 gym badges. So obviously, there's got to be at least 12 gyms per region, and you can go to more than one. Another example is in Unova, where where Ash plans to go to the Opalucent City Gym, which is a dragon-type gym, but it's actually closed down and Iris freaks out. So they head to the Burbank City Gym instead, and it's a poison-type gym, and it's super duper strong. Hey, imagine this. Imagine Ash goes up to a gym, a super powerful gym, and they're like, and like no one has ever beat them before, and then Ash beats them, and then they shake hands, and the gym leader turns to his assistant, and he's like, and like the gym leader isn't too cocky about it, but everyone else in the gym is, and all the assistants and stuff, and so they never made a gym badge. And the gym leader asks the assistant for the badge, and the assistant is like, but you've never been beaten in a gym battle before, so we actually don't have one. Yeah, seriously, imagine that. Yeah. Hmm. That'd be pretty funny. So there's got to be at least 12 gyms per region, and you can, and even that, and there has to be, yeah, you know, that would make a lot of sense. And you can actually have partner Pikachu. There's the Orange League, and you can also do the Battle Frontier, and all the other events that I've soaked up from watching the series from the beginning. In my view. Oh, and there's also the Pokey Rap at the end. And there's also the Pokey Rap. There's also a Pokemon soundtrack featuring the songs from the Pokemon anime series. Fun fact, at the end of the Pokemon anime series, at the end of the first season, was the Pokey Rap. Then then the successor to the Pokey Rap was Pikachu's Jukebox, featuring 10 songs, I believe, from the Pokemon anime to be played at the end of each episode. And then in Pokemon the Johto Journey's successor was the Pokemon Johto Journey's successor was Pokemon Karaokemon, featuring 5 songs: the Song of Jigglypuff, Two Perfect Girls, Pikachu, I Choose You, um, uh, hold on. I need to take a quick look. Nothing's playing. No, nothing's playing right now, thank goodness. Pokemon Karaokemon, okay. Hold on. Sorry, I had to turn off the recording for a couple of seconds to look it up. Anyway, the 5 are You and Me and Pokemon, All We Want to Do, Pikachu, I Choose You, Song of Jigglypuff, and Two Perfect Girls are the 5 songs featured in Pokemon Karaokemon in Pokemon the Johto Journeys. Hold on, I need to plug this in real quick. Okay, yeah. So that's those are the 5 songs. So that would really be good. But but yeah. Anyway, that would be good, right? So Super Mario Brothers Wonder just didn't have that Super Mario Bros. Wonder just didn't have that super hard level that I was trying hours to get done, and I'm hoping that we can see another Punch-Out re-release. And since we're still on the Pokemon subject, let's jump over to Detective Pikachu Returns. Now, I'm sure a couple of you have played Detective Pikachu Returns. Well, I actually played the original Detective Pikachu. Fun fact, the original Detective Pikachu was actually for the GameCube, I think. I don't know. And they remade it for the 3DS, and I played that version of Detective Pikachu, the 3DS version, and so I was really stoked to get Detective Pikachu Returns. That really stoked me, and so far I've only done the first 3 chapters, and now these are a bit of spoilers, so if you want to avoid spoilers, then scroll on the screen for until you don't find scroll around till you don't find me touching to you don't see me talking about Detective Pikachu, okay? So the first chapter is the one where Tim and Detective Pikachu are getting medals for being the detectives of Rhyme City, not only trying to find their dad and solving the case of R and stuff, but also cases all around. And that was pretty good. Yeah. So the first chapter is where Tim and Pikachu are receiving awards, but then this Corviknight swoops in, steals Pikachu's hat, knocks out a P-Dove, and Tim and Pikachu need to find a way. And Tim and Pikachu are are trying to figure out a reason for. Tim and Pikachu are trying to find out what went on with that Corviknight until Inspector Holiday, the detective agency leader or CEO, I believe. I can't remember. The CEO, Inspector Holiday, had some news for Tim that could really use his and Pikachu's expertise on the case of a missing jewel. Tim scours the house and picks up. Tim scours the house and gets friend. And Tim scours the house. Pikachu scours the house. They find a case that's been cut clean open. They search around the park of Rhyme City. They go to the Hi Hat Cafe. For some reason, they even have Growlithe help out. They even have the Growlithe help out to find the Aurora Drop, which was in some type of Galarian Pokemon. I can't remember what it's called, but like it apparently it's a water and flying. Apparently it's had the Aurora Drop in his belly the whole time. Even he didn't know it, and that was because its trainer, the butler, assistant, I can't remember who, had had sta- had put sleep powder in the Pokemon food, stuffed the Aurora Drop down the bird Pokemon to hide it, and put the bird Pokemon in a back alley to keep him safe from figuring it out. But after the Aurora Drop is recovered, that bird apparently has some type of cube on his back. He swallows the Aurora Drop again and transports it to some type of place, which is unbeknownst to me because I literally have not played past the second. I literally have not played past the third chapter. Anyway, after that little incident, it's reported in the newspaper and stuff. So in the second chapter, they consult a professor about it who's apparently been trapped inside a wintry temple for 3 days, 4 days. I know that's somewhere within a week, and Tim, Pikachu, and Rachel Myers all help out Tim to find the professor and get him out. But they all end up getting trapped in there themselves. They recruit a Galarian Darmanitan to help them get out, and eventually they get out. But some fiendish organization in white clothing appears, and tries to knock them all and tries to make sure that they all disappear and such, and the temple stay in the temple because they know Tim and Pikachu will thwart their plans. Darmanitan and Pikachu save the group, and they all get out alive. Then in the third chapter, just as Pikachu and Tim are on their way to the High Hat Cafe for a little bit of breakfast, a bunch of cops and Bradley, the ace detective next to Tim, appears with a bunch of cops, and then they arrest Pikachu for property damage. And since that Pikachu is the only Pikachu in Rhyme City, Tim has to find a different way to prove that Pikachu is innocent. As it turns out, Pikachu can't use any moves, and Pikachu is off. For starters, Pikachu can't use any moves, but that doesn't prove anything. So Pikachu and Tim are concocting a plan to prove his innocence and prove all the Pokemon's innocence for that matter, to make sure that and figure out why a bunch of Pokemon are getting detained. Apparently, Chief Butler, that's his actual name, Chief Butler was detaining innocent Pokemon because that same fiendish organization tempted him with dumb money. Why is money always the flippin' motive in these flippin' situations? Tempt him with money to start detaining innocent Pokemon and get Tim's Pikachu out of the way so that Tim has a harder time deducing. Of course, Pikachu and Tim prove the Pokemon's innocence was just a Ditto being controlled and detained. And Tim and Pikachu start investigating from their sides. They even get help from a Luxray to help see through walls. Fun fact, Luxray is able to see through walls. So they release all the Pokemon from getting detained so all the innocent Pokemon getting detained, they're all set free, and all of them set free to be themselves again, go with their trainers. But that's all I could do. I got to the beginning of the fourth chapter, but I can't really remember what happens except for Tim, Rachel, and Pikachu talking to a berserker about some type of strong Pokemon lurking in the area. That's really annoying. It's kind of annoying here. So, just so you know. Yeah. So, Detective Pikachu... here's a little interesting thing going on. Apparently, the movie doesn't. Apparently, you know how in the movie Mewtwo re- reveals that Pikachu is actually Tim's father? Well, it's not in this case. Not in this case, no. Apparently, Mewtwo's been holding on to Tim's father to keep him safe. But then that fiendish organization and a bunch of controlled Beedrill are going after Mewtwo to try to control Mewtwo, and then and trying to control Tim, and they get a hold of Tim's father. So apparently so it's pretty apparent that Tim and his that Tim and that Tim's father is not how the movie goes. Mm-mm. It is a lot more different than I thought it would be. And you know how in the movie Tim gets a little bit of help from an assistant reporter? Well, in Detective Pikachu, he gets the same help from that assistant reporter, and in Detective Pikachu Returns, apparently she's actually reporting the news instead. So that's something to keep a lookout for if anyone's been playing. So please write me some messages down of so please write me down some messages for for the for anything you've noticed from the movie and the two games. And I'm gonna take a sip of water, and I'll start mentioning my and I'll set up a channel, and I'm gonna start mentioning a couple of things of mine. Okay. Okay. Yo, I'm Mr.L Ludwig, aka Ludwig Minecraft. As you know from this very podcast that you are listening to, I have a YouTube channel for gaming walkthroughs. I'm not always caught up though, so I will eventually catch up. Who knows? But whether it's funny videos, maybe a few funny videos, a couple of songs, dance moves, dance remixes, or even just some gaming walkthroughs on stuff, I can say for sure that I will be gaming for and I am the gamer of games, pointing out things that people probably have a hard time finding. Of, of course, good old Mr.L here knows what he's doing most of the time. So if you need some help on some type of game that you've been playing for a little while, but you don't know how to get through it, I'm you. I'm the Mister you're looking for. Yes, it feels good to get that off my chest. So we've covered just about a few of the things. We have Super Mario Wonder, Super Mario RPG, and Detective Pikachu Returns. I also wanted to add a quick detail about Princess Peach's Showtime. I mean, I haven't exactly gotten that game myself, so I don't exactly know what's gonna happen. Please don't spoil for me. For me. Please don't spoil it for me. Yes. Ooh, this gets a little exhausting once you do it for a little while. But please don't spoil anything for me. I already watched the demonstration by Zach Scott Games. I really am hoping to watch. I'm really hoping to play that myself. I mean, I've seen the Sword Fighter one. That's it, sadly though. So, I should be able to figure something out. Yeah. And I can't wait to see what other transformations Peach can become besides Patissiere, Kung Fu, and Sword Fighter Peach. That that'd be pretty good. And hey, maybe this is a little upgrade to Peach's powers. Fun fact, Peach actually has a couple of powers herself. Uh, she has the power to weaken foes and actually manipulate water and fire. And she has special wishes, and that's pretty much all I can name that I remember. So, and the power of love or something like that. Maybe, I don't know. Okay. this could be a huge upgrade to Princess Peach's powers. What other games do we have to go over? Oh right, we do have that. Great, now I lost it. Ow. Well, since I've pretty much basically covered everything that I can remember out of what's going on right now. Hold on. Wait, no. I say that we use this time to. I say that with everything that I have covered so far, let's take a little bit of guesses and piece together in our minds what games could be next and how they could go. Now we've had some pretty cool games so far. Thank you, Nintendo. Uh, and especially with our latest Nintendo Direct and releases, I'm happy to see, I am very excited to see how the next Nintendo Direct goes because because almost everything for this Nintendo Direct is almost over because I watched a couple of those myself. Oh, but I actually haven't played Side Order. That's what I was forgetting to play. I haven't played Side Order. I mean, I've been flippin' hoping I could play Side Order, but I just haven't been able to. It's really annoying. It's really disappointing and annoying and synonyms to those. Sorry about those quick sound effects, everyone. It's just that I heard my dinner get ready, so. So yeah, I'm really hoping that I can play Side Order soon. I don't know why I haven't played it yet. Oh wait, yeah I do, but it's personal. So so what Mario game do you think that we could get? I mean, there's a lot of Mario lately. There is a lot of Mario lately. Yeah, but Super Mario Bros. Wonder could have led to something bigger. Now, on 3DS, there's Bowser Jr.'s there's Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story plus Bowser Jr.'s Journey. Well, Bowser's Inside Story. Well, in Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga remake, it was Bowser's minions as a side story to defeat Fawful, and then Fawful became the main villain in Bowser's Inside Story, and then the little side story for Bowser Jr.'s enemies were known as the Best Fitness Friends, or Brute Fitness Federation. No wait, Brute Force Federation, or something like that. So we could expect them to be a bit of a main enemy in some type of next game. I mean, I've kind of written down a whole fan game here on my notebook. I even have a few fan power-ups myself. So, the title, Super Luigi Bros with an X, Shy Guy's Mask, kind of like Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Okay, so the storyline: Luigi recruits allies to save Mario and Peach's faces from an evil Shy Guy mask. From an evil Shy Guy's mask that was transported to them by the Brute Force Federation slash Best Fitness Friends themselves. I've written down the online features, what the power-ups should be, what new power-ups there could be, and if there's available for Yoshi's, the online features, and bosses and mid-bosses, and characters. So I've made this whole chart on characters. This is, like I said, this is a fan game, not actually going to happen. Of course, I hope that you can see it once I'm done here. Okay, so for the chart, Luigi. Where to find him? You start with him. His special ability, Thunder Hand. He's able to hover jump. Thunder Hand and hover jump. As in he's able to throw balls of electricity when you press Y for the dash button. Blue Toad. You start with him. He's blue and yellow Toad. They're 20% faster than everyone else. Toadette. You start with her, and her special ability, she doesn't have one, but she is able to use the Peachette crown. Bowser. L-Bam. Yeah, L-Bam. After World 1, the reason I add Bowser to this is because there's a 2D side-scroll RPG on the Wii known as Super Paper Mario. Pretty good game. You should play it sometime if you have a Wii, or maybe at least watch the videos for it. It's a pretty good game. I've completed it like 5 times because it's so flippin' long. I've only completed it like 5 flippin' times. And he's able to breathe fire, but he is a little bit heavier than everyone else. Captain Shy Guy from the RPG Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, and plus Bowser's Minions and Bowser Jr.'s Journey for Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. Sergeant Guy joins Captain Shy Guy and Bowser. Sergeant Guy from the same storyline as Captain Shy Guy. Daisy. Daisy number 3. She's able to use her parasol as a shield by pressing down when she's on the ground. She's not able to hover. Nabbit. Defeat the World 5 mid-boss and you earn him. Nabbit isn't able to use any power-ups, but he keeps them in his sack for 1-ups at the end of each course for the ability. Kind of like in U Deluxe. Bowser Jr. Bowser Jr. isn't where I actually just wrote my thoughts down digitally. I just have this hand-drawn chart which isn't exactly clean. So Bowser Jr. is a big no-no. Paper Mario after the Paper Mario, Paper Mario is able to jump. Paper Mario jumps a little bit higher but doesn't hover, and he has a 3D shift for certain levels for you to be able to find hidden items for a little while, for about 30 seconds before you switch back. Captain Toad after World 8. World 8 is after World 8, he's able to pick up turnips from the ground and literally anywhere and throw them. Kind of like in Super Smash Brothers. Yeah. Rosalina. She's able to use mid-air spin attacks like in 3D World. And finally, Edge, her sword ring. She's not able to use any power-ups, but by pressing Y, she is able to throw her sword, her Edge, as a sword ring. Then there's Mario and Peach. Mario, you get after completing the Shy Guy mask, and he's able to do mid-air jumps, and when he has the fire flower, he's actually no. Yeah, he's just able to do mid-air jumps. And Princess Peach after versus the Shy Guy as well. After versus the Shy Guy boss as well. She is able to hover in the air thanks to her parasol. I've also written down a DLC. Edge and Rosalina are the DLC characters. Boss Rush X. You need to go through all the bosses on X Forum for a more challenging run. Right, after you complete the game, all worlds and all, you're able to do a boss rush. And boss rush X is a little bit more of a challenging run, and the bosses are challenging alone. And power-ups: the Boo Mushroom, with the Bomb Wind-Up Key, which turns you into a bomb. A Lakitu Cloud, which means you're able to throw spiny balls. The Bee Mushroom, you're able to hover in the air for a short time. And the Spike Flower, you're able to throw spike balls. Actually, come to think of it, the Spike Flower would have been way more better in the Lakitu Cloud. For the second DLC, we have Worlds, High Time Mines. The High Time Mines, the Beehive, the Sky City, a weapon factory, and Superstar World. And finally, we also have Boss Rush Z. Harder than battle bosses are even harder than X. Way harder than X. So, this is Boss Rush Z. And the expert side quests. Number 1. Pick on someone your own size. Defeat the boss/mid bosses and boss in each world with the tiny mushroom. Number 2. Toad and Seek. Now I'm sure you've heard of Toad and Seek in Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, where you need to find that mischievous little pixel toad hiding in each level. Well, this is kind of like that, except he's hiding more cleverly. Number 3, money, money, money. Collect a lot of coins for every level. Coin events do not apply. I've even written down all the worlds. Number 1, Bowser's Castle. That's why Sergeant Guy, and Shy Guy come after Bowser's Castle. Number 2, Luigi's Mansion. Yeah, it's a little less. Number 3, Dimble's Secret Wood. Number 4, Bowser Jr.'s Lava Lair. Number 5, Secret Museum. Number 6, the Cloudlands. Number 7, Frozen Falls Peak. Number 8, Enchanted Desert. Mount Spire for number 9. Number 10, Wasteland, the Tech Dump. Number 11, the Space Race. Number 12, Hypernova Maze. Number 13, Peach's Castle, been taken over. Number 14, Bowser's Body to regain his memories. You are not able to play as Bowser in this. Number 15, the Secret Star Way. Number 16, the BFF Fortress. Number 17, Dark Star Dimension. Number 18, Dream Nightmare Stated. Number 19, Treasure's Way. Number 20, Super Secret BFF Fortress. Pretty cool, right? And finally, what you need to collect in each one of those levels. Number 1, Power Stars. Each level has 2 Power Stars to collect. Number 2, Gold Pole, kind of like in Super Mario Bros. Wonder. And number 3, both flags found. If there's a secret exit, find it and make it gold colored as well. Requirements for final level in World 20. 180 Power Stars. Requirements for the final level in World 25. Everything. I even made a fan game on Kirby and on a new Kirby game. Of course, I just used my fan Mario game as a bit of an example for like I'm just saying that there is a lot of past that in the Mario series that hasn't exactly concluded their stand. If you know what I'm talking about. I mean, Smithy from Super Mario RPG definitely concluded his part in the series. And Peach as a playable character in some events definitely showed that she is no damsel in distress. and that would be pretty cool. And you know what we have got to see? You know what we've got to see from Nintendo? We've got to see another flippin' Super Smash Bros. Game with new characters, a new story mode, and the story mode from Super Smash Bros. Brawl and Ultimate as well. That's what we need here. That's what we need. I actually came up with a few fan-made. I actually came up with quite a few characters for Super Smash Bros. Myself. For number 1, Bandana Wildie. We have got to see Bandana Wildie. I mean, we have got to see flippin' Bandana Wildie. I mean, he's like. Sure, there's Kirby, there's King Dedede, there's Meta Knight, and King Dedede and Meta Knight came out and joined Smash in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. But they couldn't have at least added Bandana Wildie in 3DS/Wii U, and if that's not bad enough, they didn't even add it in flippin' Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. That's a little bit of a pain in my neck. It's a little bit of a pain. We have got to see Bandana Wildie, and we have got to see some type of new form here. That's what we need here. If there's, Sora may have been claimed to be the last one, but I am not done. Nintendo may claim they're done with adding characters, but I am not done. Not on my watch. Not at all. Bandana Wildie is just one of a few. We also have, for other areas, we have Sonic's 5 Elites. Now I've watched a couple of Sonic shows and played a couple of Sonic games, and most of them have one thing in common. They all have Sonic, and they all have Tails and Knuckles and Amy to back him up. And then some type of one or two characters to help him out there. In Sonic Boom, it's Styx, like I mentioned in my first episode. In Sonic Boom, it's Styx. In Sonic Prime, it's Rouge and Big. And at the beginning of Sonic X, it was Cream and Cheese and Christopher. There's a lot. So if there's a few characters from the Sonic series that need to go in along with him, I just got to say this. The ones that we need to see here, I think that the ones that we need to see here would definitely be Sonic's Elite 5. Tails, Amy, Knuckles, and Shadow. So that's Sonic, Tails, Amy, Knuckles, Shadow. The Elite 5. Of the Sonic universe. And Shadow can be like an echo form for Sonic. I mean, they each have their own thing. Sonic has his speed, Tails has inventions, Amy has hammers, I guess. Knuckles has his sweet, beautiful fists and muscles. And Shadow is an anti-hero, I guess. So those characters we need in Super Smash. Those are good characters that we need. Now we have 9 regions in Pokemon, but we also need a 10th. But there's also secretly a 10th region. It's the Farum region, released at the time of the Wii U and Pokken Tournament featuring up to the Kalos region of Pokemon and support sets to help you win battles. And they're like super extreme battles. This is like the Pokemon version. It's like a super extreme Pokemon version of Super Smash Bros. And there's one unique character there that we have got to see. It's Shadow Mewtwo. And it's pretty obvious what Shadow Mewtwo's final smash would be. It would obviously be the synergy attack, like the whole dome to trap characters, and then the giant ball crashing down on the world. That's that's one thing that we need, one way or another. Now, now a lot of you have been. Now I listened to Remember the Game. He is good, and I listened to that Dixie Kong. I listened to that Donkey Kong 3 Dixie Kong's Quest, and you know what and he mentioned that why haven't we seen Dixie Kong in Super Smash Brothers? I 100% agree with Adam. I think that we need Dixie Kong in Super Smash Brothers. Voice message me if you're correct. Voice message me if you agree with Bandana Wildy, the Sonic Elite 5, Dixie Kong, Shadow Mewtwo, basically anyone I'm mentioning here. There's that new Fire Emblem game, Fire Emblem Engage, and I forget who the main character is, but that's another one that we need in Super Smash Brothers. Write have voice messages. Do voice messages. Tell me what you think we need. Tell me if you agree with me. Tell me literally anything you think about Super Smash Brothers should be a little bit of an upgrade. Now it would be pretty cool to have Kirby is like a huge franchise, and so is Mario. But there's one thing that the two don't have in common when it comes to Super Smash Brothers. It's a huge roster. We just have Kirby, King Dedede, and Meta Knight. Sure, Kirby's a huge franchise. I even think he's bigger than Mario. And I personally think that we should also include Kirby's dream friends as well. We have Rickine and Koo. We have Gooey and Darroach and Marks and Maglor and Susie and Taranza and Dark Meta Knight, which could be an echo form of Meta Knight, by the way. And even the three Mage Sisters and Elfin as well. There is a lot in the franchises going on right now. Let's do a little doohickey. That's what I'm calling this. Let's do a little doohickey. If you could create any game, what franchise would it be based off of, and what franchise would it be based off of, or what franchise would it be? What would the plot for the story be? And how do you think? And how are you supposed to play it? Think about it. Personally, I would go with Super Smash Brothers. I think that we need a whole new improved adventure featuring different worlds. Featuring the different worlds from most of the franchises, like Lehman Darkon Return with Taboo and Chaos Elfless and Infinite and Cuckoletta and a bunch of other dark characters from a bunch of franchises that could lead to some kind of chaotic explosion, and Kirby's the only one left, and he faces Gleeman Darkon and Taboo by himself and manages to win. That's one thing. That's kind of how I think the end of the storyline would go. That makes sense, and there could be like this huge war and such. There's a lot going on with me right now. I've had a lot, not just with the franchises lately, but with me generally. And personally, I think that we need more characters. Here's a funny one. What about Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck? Those two would be pretty good ones, right? Think about it. They're silly, they're chaotic, they're full of mischievous little pranks. That would be pretty cool. Oh, and what if and Piranha Plant is just another one of Bowser's minions? Well, Captain Goomba, Captain Shy Guy, Captain Boo, Captain Koopa Troopa, those aren't just another one of the minions. Those are special elite minions. But does Nintendo decide to write them in to Super Smash Brothers? No. They just go with a simple Piranha Plant. Sure, there's many versions of a Piranha Plant to have, but we also need to see some elite members of of the of some series, not just random minions that can take different forms. We need specifics here. That's what we need. And what else? Um what if we were to say, ooh, what if a cool new mode would be that, you know how in adventure mode you're able to play as Master Hand for some type of all-star smash to defeat Galeem and Darkon's clones? What if we had like an all-star smash where you become a boss of your choosing, whether it's Gallium or Giga Bowser or Mark's big form, or Ganon, Dracula's second form, and and uh and what are some other cool characters that we could have? Ooh, let's add in an entirely different franchise. This franchise has made a huge opening. It's had a huge history. It has a Netflix original series, and it stopped after this one game. Give it up for the Skylanders franchise, one of my personal faves, but I haven't been able to play because deleted that they deleted the mobile apps. It really drove me nuts. So I'm only able to play on my Wii U now, so that's certainly delightful. So I haven't played them. I haven't played Skylanders in a while because I haven't been able to. But I think that we could take 5 characters and a boss and an enemy from Skylanders, or a couple enemies from Skylanders, and kind of like plop them in. You know, ooh, Spyro, Stealth Elf, Eruptor, Pop Fizz, and Jetpack. Those are 5 really flippin' good ones that we could add in. And yeah, I hope you agree with me. Ooh, and we could also add in like one of the main antagonists. Like he's the main antagonist no matter what. In Skylanders Trap Team, he was in Skylanders Trap Team, he actually took over the evil organization that the Doom Raider started. The darkness died and chaos is still at it again. The In Skylanders Imaginators, he's straight up the bad guy. Then there's Skylanders Giants and Swap Force. He is literally the main enemy, no matter flippin' what. So we've got to see those 5 elite Skylanders and Chaos in the roster for Super Smash Bros. I'm sure you'd agree. I'm sure you'd agree with me right now if you knew what Skylanders actually was. It's a pretty good game. Yeah. And I personally am hoping that with I'm personally hoping that I can figure out a way to I am personally hoping to figure out if there's a way to play Skylanders on Nintendo Switch. And I know that Skylanders is available on Xbox. I've checked. It's just not available for purchase right now for some reason. I don't know why. And I'm hoping to use and I've gotten a little bit of Xbox Moolah. So I'm hoping to use that Xbox Moolah not only to renew my Game Pass for the next month, but to also buy Skylanders if I can. I just can't flippin' wait for me to flippin' have a job so that I can get internet money as well, so that I can start paying for my Game Pass myself and I don't have to rely on anyone else to do it because it's been really bothering me. And hey, what if we were to add Bluey as just hypothetically, Bluey as a fighter? I don't know why that took me so long to release, but imagine it. Bluey as a fighter in Super Smash Brothers. Yeah, that's pretty silly. Yeah. but I could understand why when I think about it. But logically, Bluey is also Disney, so and I know Disney has collaborated with Nintendo many times, but I don't think a Disney Junior show that's been turned into a Game Pass video game on Xbox and Nintendo Switch, I think that's a little bit crazy and on top going. That it's a little bit crazy. I mean, yes, Bluey is super good. Bluey is a very good show. Sure, it has some scenes where kids weren't exactly supposed to know what happened, but we but other than that, it's a super good TV series, and it's got young kids absorbed. It's got middle-aged adults interested, and it's gotten teens so invested that they're looking up when when the next season will be, or when the 30-minute special Bluey episode will get released. I'm referring to me. I'm a teenager looking that right now. Well, maybe not right now, but like, you know what I mean. Bluey has hooked so many people. But so, do you think that you could understand why why hypothetically we'd add her as a playable character in Super Smash? Although it's just a hypothetical. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Remember, these are all fan made, and I'm the fan. And what else? I mean, there's so many. There's so much. There's so much franchises, and they all come together in one world in Super Smash Brothers. So my guess, the future of these franchises and the future of Super Smash Brothers, well, it's all gonna come down to what Nintendo's decisions are made. Man, made that sound very dramatic. Wow. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in to listen to my podcast. I'm Mr.L, aka Ludwig Minecraft. Make sure to check out make sure to check out my YouTube channel and leave voice messages whether you agree with me here or whether you are completely against me. Whatever whatever you want to do, whatever you want to do is up to you. And remember, everyone, stay curious. Keep picturing in your mind how things could go. Let those imaginations run wild, even if they're just Nintendos or Segas or Ataris or literally any other franchise. Literally any other gaming franchise that we could be seeing. I'm Mr.L Ludwig. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love you all. Cheers.